Hello everybody and welcome to your Libra full moon tarot reading. I am going to do this for all signs, but I'm going to do this kind of in a unique way so that I address every sign personally, yet tie the whole story together. And I'm going to do it based on the North and South nodes to make it a little easier. So North node is your ascending sign, and the South node would be the descending sign of that ascending sign. So I'll explain that more as I move through the tarot reading. But you can use this reading for your sun sign, for your rising sign, and even to look at other people involved in your life and what, their perspective and where they're coming from, because Libra is the 7th house, which is the house of relationships. So this reading is going to focus on relationships. Now, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. The house of Libra encompasses all relationships: your family, your friends, your work relationships, the relationship with yourself, the relationship with spirit. It's all about relationships. So that's the focus of this, and to look at, any challenges within your relationships, why they exist, and how to move through them and improve those challenges, okay? Because oftentimes we just want to give up and walk away from things, and the truth is there's more to be gained from certain relationships. It's just we're at an impasse, we don't know what else to do, and we just want to walk away. Or sometimes it's at that point where the door is closed and we're trying to beat on it to get back in, and it's closed, and that's that. So I will start this off by pulling some cards for each sign. And again, I'll explain the axis of the North and South node as I go so that you better understand what I'm talking about, for those of you that don't know, because I know some of you do, obviously. All right. Actually, that was not the deck I want to start with. I want to start with Luna, actually. Okay, and she says, this is just a little bonus message. It is time to realize how far you have come. You have accomplished more than you realize. So pat yourselves on the back, guys. Those of you who have been doing some serious self-improvement, trying to work relationships out with people, within yourself, with spirit, just trying to, be a better person, see life in a higher perspective. It's not easy. It truly isn't. It takes a lot. So kudos to you. Okay. So for the Aries Libra axis, we have first quarter moon energy. And this says, this is not a time to give up or give in. Stand your ground and keep pushing forward. So that really coincides with that message before I started pulling cards with, sometimes we want to give up and walk away because it's so hard and it feels like it's at the end, but it's not. It's just there's a shift of perception that needs to be gained. This is like a lesson, a life lesson that you can absolutely work through either within yourself or with another person, and really come out on the other side in ways that you don't imagine, okay? So for Taurus, Scorpio, we have a lunar eclipse moon energy coming in, and it says the lunar eclipse is an auspicious time of powerful change and manifestation for you. So the total lunar eclipse that we had in January, with that Leo full moon, that energy is actually coinciding with the Libra full moon on March 20th, 21st, just depending on where you live in the world. It's coming into play again. So different things that were coming into your life or changing in January to your relationships, there's more to that that's going to play out over the next 30 days, the next moon cycle, and just maybe throughout the rest of the year. This is just a very general reading, but big changes in your relationships with this energy for sure. All right, Gemini, Sagittarius has lunar eclipse moon energy as well. It says a door now closes. This is happening for the good of everyone involved, even if it doesn't feel that way. Now, Sagittarius and Gemini, I have to say, this goes with that second message that I was getting before I started pulling cards, where sometimes the door closes and it might not make sense, but a locked door is a locked door is a locked door, and there's a reason for it. And with the lunar eclipse moon energy, you will eventually come into the full understanding of why. You have got to trust the universe on that, okay? So, Cancer, Capricorn, Taurus, full moon energy. Okay, it is time to be very practical, especially involving financial dealings. Abundant, stable energy surrounds you at this time. So if you are somebody who's really been giving in excess to other people, really helping all the relationships in your life out, like really being there, this is a message of, you know, you might want to take stock of who's really on your side and who's just there for a handout, okay? Really pay attention to that with this energy. Now, Leo, Aquarius, you guys have solar eclipse moon energy. A period of darkness or disconnection leads to utter enlightenment. So with this coming out, Leo, Aquarius was the axis of our eclipses all of 2018. So you guys have really gone through quite a bit, not just in relationships, but just in different areas of your life, like big changes, changes of consciousness, of perception, of people, of jobs, like just a lot of different energy in motion for the Leo Aquarius axis. And so here we are, you guys are coming out of that, like the caterpillar that's been in its cocoon is now emerging into the butterfly, so to speak. The seed that's been buried far beneath the soil is now going to have its breakthrough to the surface. That's what this is all about. So yay. All right. And lastly, Virgo, Pisces. We have last quarter moon energy, and this says, this is not a time to act or to continue pushing against a barrier. If it's not working, it's not meant to be right now. Focus your energy elsewhere and let the universe sort the rest out. So this goes in line with the Gemini Sagittarius over here, this card, where there's a door that is potentially closed, or there's a relationship that just doesn't work. It's not that there's not feelings and connection and all these things. It's like right now is not the time, okay? Because last quarter moon energy is phasing down into that new moon phase. So that's like the darkness, like the going into shadow, going within the rejuvenation period where you're not really energetically aligned to start new projects, new relationships, work on anything. It's more like you need a restoration within yourself, a period of stillness, a period of reflection and healing and purging, things like that. So any door that is closed right now in relationship, just trust that, okay? And I'm only like, for the intention of the reading, looking at the next 30 days over the, you know, Libra moon cycle, but you know, apply this how it fits. If it goes beyond that or it's less time than that, you know, that's fine. But this is just the primary energies that are coming through about relationships and where your focus should be. And I'm going to pull more about this, obviously. So I'm going to start with 6 and add to it. Got 6 there. All right, so over here on the Aries, Libra, we have the Page of Swords, which is communication. Over here on Taurus, Scorpio, we have the Four of Pentacles, which is about holding back. Okay, and so the lunar eclipse is an auspicious time of powerful change and manifestation. So to me, this is kind of like where we've been held back. That's about to shift, okay? And look at here, under the Gemini Sagittarius, we have the Four of Swords. This is that closing door. Much like I was saying over here for Pisces, Virgo, this is a time of rejuvenation, of healing, of restoration, of recovery. It, like, whatever has left or what door has closed, you have got to trust that that is in the highest good for you and for anybody else involved right now. It doesn't mean it's a permanent forever situation, but for now, as a 4, it's pretty stable and solid that this door needs to close for now, okay? And under the Cancer Capricorn, we have the King of Pentacles coming out. So that could definitely be your energy, Capricorn. But you guys are actually on the axis of the eclipses for this year. So what I get from this right away is it's like there's going to be some major elevation to you in some area of your life. And this goes beyond just relationships. Like your relationships are really shifting and changing as you grow into this king energy. Like that's what this whole course of these eclipses are for you guys, is growing into this King of Pentacles, where you are completely independent, solid, stable within yourself. It's like you are a pillar of strength, a beacon of light, of wisdom, of knowledge, of success. That is what we are working on. And it has a lot to do with, I feel, relationship changes, because this is saying where we're giving too much. We're giving too much. So now it's like over the course of this year, we're learning that balance of give and take, give and receive. And, you know, it's, no matter how giving your heart is, if you're just never getting back, there comes a point where you have to have a realization within yourself that if you know somebody's just a taker, you've got to cut it off, no matter the emotional attachment, no matter how bad you feel for them, because somebody who is perpetually getting in the same position over and over and over and continually needing help over and over and over, they're not learning any sort of lesson, consciousness expansion. They're gaining nothing from their experiences, because somebody's always there to catch them and to help them. And I can say personally, as a mother, that is one of the hardest lessons I have had to learn, is that tough love where you've got to pull your hands back and say, you know what, I can't. You've got to figure this out on your own this time. I'm perpetuating you from not learning life, from not gaining the experience that you need, because life happens to all of us. And sometimes, you know, we all find ourselves in situations where there's nobody, there's no hand to help you. And in those situations, that's because you've got to find the strength within to get back on those feet and push forward. And there is no greater reward, boost to self-esteem, when you realize how low you were and how far you have come to get out of that. And, you know, a lot of people want to take advantage of that. And when you have a giving heart, you know what it was like to be down there, to suffer, to claw your way to the top. So naturally, you want to help other people. There's a difference between a hand up and a hand out. And you are really recognizing that over the course of this year, okay, when it comes to relationships. Now, for Aquarius, Leo, this is fantastic to go with this card. 3 of Cups, happiness, celebration, new friends, new connections, coming together, happiness, you know, good times. And it's coming out of a period of darkness. That's excellent news. So it's like there's new relationships coming in, but also existing relationships, they really look like they're improving and we're relating to each other again, all right? Now, over here for Virgo, Pisces, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And again, to me, this is talking about the closed door. I really feel like Gemini, Sag, and Virgo, Pisces, there's a connection with the same type of message. It's really like it's all about divine timing. Like whatever's going on right now is not a permanent thing, but you cannot push against or try to work towards getting through that closed door. It's like the acceptance of that closed door or what's not working in relationships is what you need to do, like this sitting back, quietly observing rather than, you know, doing, acting, trying. It's like, no, stop all of that, because there's a flow, an energy flow to whatever's going on there, okay? And it's all about divine timing. And there's a period of recovery, rest, evaluation, some soul searching that is required in this process, but it all is going to shift. It all is going to change. So let's add on top of those and see what else. Ooh, okay. in my lap. So, okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles sitting on top of this Page of Swords, which this is all about communication and stability. That's why this first quarter moon is saying don't give up. And you know, I love this progression because this is a page, this is a knight. So there's building of energy, but it's not quite a king, okay? So there's more to it, which is perfect with that first quarter moon energy. It's like we've got to understand more things. There's some communication that needs to happen. There's some commitments and obligation and fully vesting our energy into things that needs to happen. But overall, this is very positive, okay? It's building. There's a progression of energy. And that's why, you know, Luna's saying don't give up, okay? And this Libra full moon is going to bring this to the manifestation where we do have these conversations. We do make promises. We do make commitments. And most likely we stick to them because that is the Knight of Pentacles, the most stable, slow-moving, solid knight of the four, okay? And now over here on Taurus Scorpio to sit on top of that Four of Pentacles, which you know, this is where I feel you've been held back. Look at this. You have the Eight of Wands, okay? And that's like a huge burst of energy coming through. So where relationships have been strained, we haven't been able to express our heart, our soul. There's been a imbalance of giving and receiving, all of that. That's definitely shifting with this Libra full moon. There's a lot of energy, you know, coming at Scorpio Taurus axis of positive change, of new communications, of warm communications, positive things, where there was lack, that's now shifting, okay? Also, those of you that like are struggling financially or job situations, it's almost like there's friends and connections that are really going to help you out, and that whole like issue will shift for you, okay? Now look at this. On the Gemini Sagittarius, we actually have the Temperance, which is the card in the tarot that represents Sagittarius. Yeah, this could not even, that's so perfectly paired. There is this restoration that is needed, healing, balancing of energy, tempering of energies. It's like the alchemy process. Something didn't go right. There's a element that was very distorted, very out of balance. It caused harm, it caused heartache, and now we need to go into that place of reflection, of going back to the drawing board. You know, why did this happen? What was my part in it? Where is my energy potentially distorted? Where is my perception blocked and blinded? You know, like, this is all about introspection, okay? The only other thing that could have come out to make it deeper than that would have been the Hermit. So it's whatever has closed for you or is not working in regards to relationship. You've really got to trust it. You've so got to trust it. You need some healing, okay, for real, with this pairing of cards. Now, look at this. Five of Pentacles sitting on top of this King of Pentacles, all about giving. This is where we might be giving to the point of our own detriment, where we end up lacking abundance and prosperity. We are self-sacrificing far too much for the greater good of others. And again, this is that shifting of that, like, spirit universe is really working on you through these eclipses that are going to take place over 2019 on your axis. And it's like your eyes are going to be opened, and it might be painful, you know, to have the recognition of some people that you thought really had your back, but they don't have your back. But again, it's for growth, because you're growing into this force, okay? And there's some people that you have got to start cutting off, saying no to, making them stand on their own 2 feet. Even if you are incredibly well off in what you give, you know, that it's really no skin off your nose, or it's not even about money. You're just really happy offering advice and doing favors and being there. Spirit's like, no, that really takes more from you than you recognize consciously. And I like to point out of all the axes, this is the only one that received a specific specific like moon energy, Taurus moon energy. Taurus is the second house, which is all about finances, possessions, career, luxury, you know, all of that type of energy. And it's coming straight through as pentacles. And so it's reiterated here. So with Cancer Capricorn, it's all about recognizing handout opposed to hand up, and where you have to draw those boundaries. And this is, again, deeper, obviously, since you guys are on the eclipse axis for this year. It goes much deeper, but for the sake of this reading, I will end there. Now, over here on the Aquarius Leo, we have the Chariot on top of this Three of Cups, which, again, is just another fantastic dice of, it's finally, you guys are coming out of a lot of heavy heartache and challenge, especially in the emotions department with the cups there. The Chariot typically represents Cancer. So again, a lot of water energy, a lot of emotion, and that's shifting for the good after a period of serious heartache, okay? And lastly, over here on Virgo, Pisces, look at this. We have the King of Cups now. And that to me is very similar to what I was saying now over here with this axis of Cancer Capricorn. Because I see the King there, there's the reason why we have to have this solitude or these relationships that exit our life, or the door is closed for now. There's emotional maturity and growth that is coming in, and after that happens, that's when this shifts, okay? That's why we're in last quarter moon, because the harvest has already happened. The manifestations have already happened. And now we've got to really assess, did we like the harvest? What could I have done differently? What did I do right? What is working? What's not working? It's like a deep, deep analysis. And because we have that King of Cups, has a lot to do with your emotions. And to me, I'm getting like your emotions distorting your perception about different relationships and, the relationships that have harmed you. It's like you're really taking that to heart and very personally, and it continues to harm rather than allow you to grow from it. And so this last quarter moon, through this Libra full moon cycle, is all about bringing the maturity up to the consciousness, where you get a full view of how everything fit together and why it all kind of played out the way it did, and seeing your hand in it, because it takes two to tango. Whether it's a good relationship, a bad relationship, there came a point in my life where I had to own up 100% that I entertained bad relationships. Like if I cared about somebody, I would put up with a lot just for the sake of the fact that I cared. Friend, lover, it doesn't matter. Family, I would put up with a lot, and I just won't anymore. Oh my God, I don't know what the heck just happened. Hold on.
Would lead police to a murder site.
That is crazy.
To find the killer.
Ah, my password's not working. I'm so sorry, you guys. I do not know what just happened. That is weird. My computer was completely shut off, and it just turned on, and my show turned on. Whew, okay, well, maybe we have some friends with us. Anyways, back to what I was saying. It's all about emotional growth over here on the end. And, but it's positive. It's like, get over this hump, come into this realization, and you will get there. Like, you will understand. And you will move beyond, and there will be reconnection, there will be healing, there will be understanding, okay? So I'm going to pull some more cards to add to this. I'm so, weirded out by that happening. Seriously. I was watching a detective YouTube show, and it was paused, and my computer was completely shut down because I'm doing this, and it just turned itself all the way on, and my screen was locked. I had to put my password in. Weird. Anyways. Okay, so let's just add to this. Okay, so time to move on. Desert bones. Yes. This, to me, is saying we've got to move on from I want to give up. You need to move on from the emotional baggage, from the challenge, from the heartache, and see the growth. See how far you've come, like that first card that flew out. See what you guys have accomplished. See what has been obtained through these different relationships that have been challenging, because, you know, sometimes challenge is okay. It's needed. It doesn't mean it's toxic and it's got to be out of your life. Like, you know, that's such a generalization. And I just see through here, it's like, it's time to let bygones be bygones. It's time to really heal that emotional baggage and overcome it, because it's there. It's like, we can. You definitely can, wherever that is speaking to you, okay? Over here, obstructive view clouds. I love it. Again, this speaks to that Four of Pentacles, where it's like, I just don't know, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's been a lot of restriction, and then boom, with this Eight of Wands, it all changes, and there's a lot of energy that's going to come through and come in. And wow, okay, so Gemini, Sag, I get it. Your heart is hurting with this coming out. Whatever this relationship or relationships are for you, it is definitely a connection that you feel in your soul, and that's why it's been really hard to accept the closing door. But again, Spirit's like, we need a new perception, we need restoration, we need healing. You've got to just trust the way the energies are working out right now. And because, you know, what's meant to be and what's meant to come back together, it will. But you don't get to decide that. Like, it comes into play. What is your work? Well, where are you at on that? And the other person involved, what's their work? Where are they at on that? All of that matters, okay? Before we can get back to this specifically. And with this coming out, if we were just too unaligned, too toxic to each other, like, you name it, it's like Spirit had to separate, because this is too precious to withstand such damage, okay? So just trust any sort of disconnection and separation, that is exactly what is needed right now. And a soul bond cannot be cut like you cut your hair. It is there. It's energetic. It's there whether you want it there or not, right? So just trust in the closed door and the distance. Okay. Forgive them. So, oh goodness. I guess that was a big sign of forgive them. And what I feel about this is, maybe some of you have already come into that recognition that I've talked about, and you're just feeling incredibly used, hurt. And this is Spirit saying, listen, forgive them. It doesn't mean you keep giving or let them back close, but forgive them, for they know not what they do, okay? It's all about consciousness. And we all of us act from a place of lower consciousness at different points in our life, and that's how we grow and learn and expand. And so I'm not saying everybody that you dealt with, there was definitely some people out for themselves, but some of them, I don't think they realize. It goes back to that life lesson thing, where they just never had to stand on their own, and that's why they do what they do. And it takes a little bit of life to happen to us sometimes for us to get it right. And I'll say my Virgo daughter, who is 18, she was very unhappy with her sister, and she was like, you know, maybe she just needs some karma, because nothing like karma to get your head back on straight. And she's like, I know from experience. So at 18, she gets it about karma. And sometimes, you know, and to me, karma isn't like, oh, you did bad, you get bad in return. Karma is like, here's a deep lesson about the energy you're putting out to the universe. Do you like this? Are you proud of this? Is this the essence that you want to give off? You know, it brings back an awareness of self, and just depending on level of consciousness is the degree in which somebody's going to grasp that, the universal reflection that comes back to them. Is it, you know, woe is me, or is it, what is it about my energy? What am I doing? What's my vibration? Like, how am I causing this? You know, a lot of people aren't there, and they feel owed, and, you know, they want handouts and all these things. And here, what I'm getting is it's more a level of consciousness, like they don't realize what they do, the way it hurts, the way it just takes. And that's where the forgiveness comes in. Not saying justifying any of it, but the understanding and the consciousness of they don't get the way they are harming me. And if I just keep going about it the way I have been, they're just going to keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. I've got to change something in me. I've got to put some boundaries down so they can get it, you know, because to me, there can definitely be some restoration here with this energy. All right, so yay, look at this. Yep. So Leo Aquarius, we are coming out of the desert. All right, pretty straightforward there. And over here, look at that. Look at that for Virgo Pisces. Yes, developing. Okay. We've already discussed it with that King of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. It's all about divine timing when you are ready, when things are ready, when perceptions shift. We're developing, we're evolving somehow, some way right now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some awakened energies. I've separated my relationship connections oracle into the distorted pile and the awakened pile of energies. Now, I just want to say, just because of some of the comments I've received, is, you know, yeah, there are distorted energies in this deck. There are shadows, negative energies. Why? That's a life, okay? The best of relationships, there's distorted energy. There's always work to be done somehow, some way. And to me, to just look at the positive side of what's going on in a relationship is only half of it. You've got to understand all the energies that are at play, that are involved, okay? And just because there's a distorted energy doesn't mean it's end all no repair. It's just like, okay, this is out of balance. How do I fix that? So we're going to start with the awakened energies. And so I see these more as the energies that are, you know, of higher vibration that flow in these different relationships in your life, okay? And this is kind of for everybody, so, you know, apply where it fits. It will probably be most significant to, you know, the dice at the lineup, but again, this is very general, so, okay. We have witty, funny, clever. So, again, there's a good energy here, a good vibe, and that's why maybe it's time to let bygones be bygones and heal, you know, move beyond the heartache, the challenge. I'm actually going to put that there. And look at over here. We have the Divine Feminine at her finest, yin energies, sacral chakra. This to me is, again, talking about this Eight of Wands, how your energy itself is shifting to be very on point, and these are the type of relationships and connections that you are attracting into your life. Very solid, very true, very real, very pure, okay? And in the existing relationships that you have that are working, they are definitely the real deal, solid, true. There are people in your life that definitely have your back 100% with this card. All right, and over here under Soul Bond, leader, reliable, devoted. So this is definitely a connection that has roots, that has history, that, you know, you may feel that you were very, very there for somebody, or you feel maybe they were very, very there for you and you're feeling the loss of them, or if you were incredibly there for them, you might be feeling remorseful, like, you know, I was this, how could you do me like you did when this is who I was to you? So this is very positive, supportive, reliable, trustworthy energy right here. Or it could be this was the connection, but there was just some sort of misunderstanding, and now there's a lot of pain and remorse because of how solid it once was, okay? Over here, yeah. Okay, so now we have the mirror, lifetime, and soulmate. And I just have to say, I remember Capricorn's love reading I just did for the 16th through the 31st, only because this card and the twin flame card came out. So Capricorn, I do see that coming through again in this. And what I have to say about this, because this is for the Capricorn Cancer axis, is this is definitely a year where you are figuring out who your tribe is, who your soul tribe is, where you belong, who your true love is, who your true friends are. Just a big, big assessment of all relationships, and having only a desire at this point to truly connect with somebody. If in the past, you know, I've wanted a lot of friends and this and that, I want to be really social, that's like a big shift of change to where I don't care about that. I want realness. I want, you know, equality. I want, you know, if I'm giving, I want that back in return. If I'm loving, I want that back in return. I don't always want to be the strong one. I don't always want to be the one that has to forgive, and like, I don't want to accommodate. Like, I want real connections that are equal, that, you know, love me as much as I love them. And of course there's always, you know, challenge and everything, but this is like finding your soul tribe this year, okay? And for Leo Aquarius, look at this. We have awakened connection, feeling, knowing, telepathy. So for you guys, along with a lot of happiness, new connections coming in, after a period of, you know, some darkness, whatever comes in, it's very, very soul, okay? There's a lot of soul type of connection for Leo Aquarius this year. It starts now. This could be in existing relationships as well, where we just really start connecting much deeper. Also with this feeling, knowing, telepathy, there are some connections where I feel you may be disconnected, but the soul bond is still very, very strong, and you feel it, and there's a lot of communication that goes back and forth between the two of you still through this, you know, soul bond that you do have. And so if you have dreams, or you find yourself having conversations, or just see tons of signs and synchronicities in your reality of somebody, that's this. And this includes passed down loved ones as well, okay? There's just some energies around you trying to guide you and support you, but there's also energies that you are meant to reconnect with, okay? And you know who they are based on this connection that already exists, even though, you know, in the absence of them. Now, Virgo, Pisces, we have love, intimacy, commitment. Now, this coming out along with all of this is telling me this is what we're assessing. Who loves me? Who is interested in real intimacy, and who is in it for something superficial? Who's committed to me? You know, who has my back after I've had their back? You know, it's a deep, deep assessment of who is there for me the way I am there for them, or am I there for others the way they have been there for me? This is where we're leading to. This is what's developing right now, is relationships that are filled with love, true soul intimacy and commitment, whether friendships, lover, family, like business relationships, whatever. It's more fulfilling relationships, and there's some sort of assessment, development, and growth that's taking place inside of you for this to happen, okay? So let's take a look at some of the distorted energies, the challenges that, you know, our relationships are facing that we may be having a hard time overcoming. All right, so over here we have irresistible temptation and sexual deception. So this coming out, there could be this element of where the initial connection was a bit superficial, but it actually solidified into something more quite unexpectedly on one or both sides. This could be friend, this could be business, this could be lover, okay? This is just an energy coming out. And what I see with this is initially this was not supposed to go anywhere, but it actually turns out to be something quite significant in your life. And there may have been, because we're only at the first quarter moon, all right? That's halfway to the full moon. So there is much more to be revealed to this. But again, I see commitment, I see stability, even though it may not have started out that way, okay? It's like feelings got involved, or we got closer than I expected. And also because this sits on those desert bones, this may be some of the emotional baggage that of the past that needs to be left behind. All right, so next over here we have fear, need, codependency. So this right here would go very well with those Four of Pentacles. And again, we are coming out of this energy. So this could be where a lot of your connections in your life were based off of need or fear-based energies, some codependency, whether that's people attaching to you, or because of what I see here, maybe you had some codependency issues that you've really worked on, and now you are on point 100%, and that's why we see this big shift. So to me, it's like if we've been really blocked in a lot of relationships and relating to people, it's because there's this element of this energy right here, some fear-based emotions, maintaining some relationships out of need, things like that. But this is what we shift into. This is the work that we've been doing. All right, so over here on Sag Gemini, we have avoids, rejects, deflects. So what makes this hard is even though it's a pretty good relationship on many levels, and there's soul, there is this element where somebody does not take any sort of responsibility or can't face what has happened, what has been said, what has been done, is really just in this place of utter avoidance. Like, I can't deal with this, I don't want to deal with this, or I want to be angry rather than trying to get to the soul lesson of this. So, sorry. There is a lot of good energy to this connection, but there is also this distortion of refusing to take responsibility or just outright avoiding, rejecting, like when things get hard, when things get challenging. All right, I'm out of here. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm only your Superman when things are good, right? But when it's truly challenging and rough, that's when I'm out. And so that's something really hard to recover from. And, you know, I do see an element of sadness and heartache through this, just because of how important this connection looks through this reading. Look at this. This sits over here under the Cancer Capricorn, darkness, a heartache, depression. Yeah, this is, you know, that realization of how we have to put boundaries down and feeling taken advantage of, and it has caused a lot of heartache and harm. But again, you're growing out of that through 2019, just based on, you know, the astrology for you. Now over here on Leo Aquarius, we have hiding or holding back true feelings to prevent conflict or rejection. This to me is either you guys are holding back or others in your life really hold back. We kind of walk on eggshells around each other, or there was just a lot of relationships, or a very significant relationship where this was the primary energy, and maybe we had to go our separate ways. And, you know, because it just, again, there's a distortion. If somebody's always holding back, hiding how they really feel, it really does disrupt the connection between two people. And you would think by holding it in and not expressing it out that it wouldn't, but it does, because energy is energy, and what you're feeling is what you're feeling. You can't hide that. You can't fake that from the universe. It's just all around you, okay? Your thoughts, your emotion, energy, it creates your vibe. So if you're always holding back, like, it's still all out there. It's just creating a weird friction and a lot of like arguments and fights and just weird stuff that you would never even associate to the fact that you're holding back, okay? So, and what's funny is this is telepathy, right? So it doesn't matter if we're not saying what we are wanting to say. It's being expressed, okay? We are communicating here, you and somebody, or you and others. Like, there is communication. And now this can go the other way too, where you are picking up on a lot of things and somebody just is not giving you the whole story. They're not expressing their whole heart, their whole soul, their whole truth, because they're afraid of the conflict that it could create between the two of you, or that you would reject them outrightly, okay? So there is some distortion of not speaking our full heart and mind. And this isn't typically, even though it's a distorted energy, it's not that malicious, I got secrets and I'm betraying you. It's not like that. It's, I'm really holding back because I'm afraid of the consequence. I'm afraid of the outcome. I want to keep the peace. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to upset this person. You know, it's that type of energy. And I feel where we've really been held back because we're coming out of this darkness, we're coming into the sun, so much is going to be revealed. And you're going to find it much easier to express your heart and soul as well. Now, over here on Virgo Pisces, we have drifting apart. So, to me, this is where we're trying to hang on to a specific connection or several connections where we're too far away now. Like, where our consciousness is in different places. Our energy is no longer aligned. Pisces, there's a lot of connections here that I feel must kind of fall away or be distant from you at this time because of whatever this assessment and growth is that you're working on. And again, what is meant to be will be. There's other things developing for you, though. I feel over here, because this is last quarter, again, we're phasing down into the new moon. And new moon is all about the new. So there's like some big time shifts taking place over there for Pisces Virgo. All right. So now I am going to pull some more cards to go deeper into like specifics about different relationships. And I'm going to do two reads here. So you could, you know, resonate with one, or you can look at it as the perspective of one person and the perspective of the other, you know, just really how it fits for you. Okay, so first card out is Eight of Flames, mutual attraction, fiery connection, passionate communication. We do have the Eight of Wands there. And now I'm not going to go these by specific axis. This is kind of general overall for everybody. So this right here, a very strong connection though to the Scorpio Taurus, because you have the Eight of Wands, and that's what the Eight of Flames are. So there's some lovely connections coming in there. The Illuminaries, Destiny, Northern Star, Past Life. So this to me is where we are divinely led to certain relationships and connections because it's meant to be, and what's meant to be is different for everybody, like what you're meant to experience with that person. But that I definitely see some of you where we have this intense connection. It is definitely past life. There is something to it. And look at here, Ace of Roses, opportunity, pleasant surprise, gift. So some of you, I think you need to just sit back and wait, because it's like with the Illuminaries here, there's good stuff in the works. You've just really got to trust, like accept what no longer is. Open yourself up to what could be, anything new, because it's going to make you happy, pleasant surprise. And look at divine masculine of thoughts. This is would be the king of swords, articulate, intellectual, and sophisticated. So this is somebody coming in who is very wise in the sense of like the business world, or can offer you help, you know, in different areas of your life that most people wouldn't know about. Okay, this is somebody who is an expert at something kind of big, like maybe an accountant, a lawyer, you know, a financial advisor, something along those lines. This is an energy that's coming in somehow, some way. And this is very solid. This is stable. This is coming out under the Eight of Wands, a very fiery, passionate, mutual attraction and connection. And if this is something you don't experience yet, this is coming in, okay? I would say this feels, for those of you that need some sort of like business, financial, legal type of help, there's somebody that's going to come in and really help you out, okay? That's going to show up for sure. For others of you where this is more about like a romantic relationship, I do see a lovely opportunity being extended. All right. And again, past life connection, Northern Star, we're led to each other. It's destiny. 10 of thoughts, abandonment, betrayal, loss. And this right here, this beautiful energy comes after something that doesn't feel good. I mean, there it is. I'm sorry. This would be the 10 of Swords. Okay. So it's something that it feels very painful. But we're coming out of that. All right, so that's the good part. So this energy comes after a lot of trials, okay? A lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of lessons, a lot of growth. But that's why this energy coming in looks so amazing, because, you know, after the storm, the sun comes back. It does. But we're worried. We're worried that it's not going to. Anxiety, haunted mind, insomnia, 9 of thoughts. So we have the 9 and 10 of swords here. And I feel this right here goes really strongly with the Aries Libra, where we're just at this place of wanting to give up hope. Can we ever recover from what's happened? And again, I feel like we can. I really do. What I see coming out on this side is mutual interest, attraction, desire. I want to give you this. I want something solid. I want something stable. Feeling very destined, soul connection. However, it comes after a period of some intensity. All right. So let that speak to you however it will. So let's go on the other side now. Okay, so we have consciousness, kaleidoscope, perception, thoughts. This is really where somebody needs to get their mind right and see things from a much different perspective in order to move ahead. If you see what's going on, it's this guy, like he has a little puppet of himself, and that's so well depicted of how your thoughts and your emotions truly dictate your availability of energy and movement and what's going on. And so this is talking about how, whether it's you or people you involved with, somebody really needs a shift in perception, total expansion in consciousness when it comes to relationships and why things have been playing out the way they have been. Because look at here, the light, awakened soul contracts and experiences. And the reason why is because this is what's next. This is where, again, we get up out of that heavy energy, and now it's more soul to soul type of communication and experiencing that we're having. And now divine feminine of roses, abundant, loyal, matriarch. This is beautiful energy. This is somebody who is going to have your back, and you know, they are abundant, they are prosperous, whether it's in energy, emotion, material. They could be very attractive, you know, they may have a ton of different connections that could help you out for whatever you're trying to do. But this is somebody who you can count on. All right, earth energy. This could be you, or this could be who is coming in to share this light experience after we have consciousness expansion and shifting, okay? Next out, we have Messenger of Roses. All right, I love it because this is more earth energy, stable, solid, good foundation. And this says invitation for building future plans. So this being, this would be a page. There's new energy coming in, new foundation, new commitments, where it's after the perception shift. It's like, once there's a shift in perception, like I deserve real friends, or I deserve real love, or I'm gonna put my boundaries down and I'm no longer gonna tolerate XYZ. It's like it really opens things up to such beautiful relationships that are of a much higher vibration. Oh my gosh, yeah, look at this. 9 of Roses, abundance, independence, luxury. This is more earth energy coming out. Wow. And look at now, 10 of emotion, happiness, together, tribe. And I did mention in here how some of you are seeking out that soul tribe where you truly belong. So to me, this 10 of thoughts, these heavy swords, turns into this 10 of emotions, this 10 of cups, happiness, togetherness, tribe, okay? So this is, honestly, there's growth going on. The biggest messages I see is we've got to shift in our perception. I don't see like karmic energies and all these heavy energies, none of that. I just see it's more in the mental body, if anything, where we've got to shift our perception about people, about what's happened, about who we are, and like just this big reassessment across the board for every sign, all right? And that really opens up energies, because just look at the difference. These are energies, 10 of swords. Look at what's going on there. What kind of experiences you feel are attracted to this type of energy opposed to this energy? It's all about what's going on in your mind and in your heart. Like that's what draws things to you. That's also the filter in which you perceive. And so when you're feeling really bad, you're feeling really betrayed, there are so many other unconnected things that you're going to associate with feeling bad and betrayed, because that's the consciousness that you are operating from at that time based on what you've been through, okay? And when we're operating from a place of gratitude, of focus of what is going right, feeling satisfied, feeling fulfilled, a whole different slew of experiences and people come into play. And what I see here is these are not karmic, okay? This is of the light. This is, after we've been through a lot, it's time for some ease. It's time for some flow. It's time to meet on a soul plane, have true intellectual conversations and connections. And it's not about what you got, what I can do for you. This is pure. This is true. This is real. This is soul right here, okay? And I don't have the shadow a period in this lineup. I have the luminaries, all right? Destiny, what's meant to be, a lot of mutual attraction, a lot of connection, people that can really come in and help you out, or you can help them out, just depending on, how this all plays out for you personally. Now, I'm going to quickly pull one of these cards and just kind of see where this energy is headed. Okay, so Pisces emotion energy, and this says magically healing love in dreams, once in a lifetime love. Just because we saw the challenge going on with this, Aries, Libra, this to me is saying the challenge is worth it. Sometimes what you have to really fight for something for it to truly, truly matter to you. And again, it's all about not giving up and just consciousness shifting, but there is something very special between you and the person that this relates to you, okay? There is a soul bond, there is a soul connection, and this is kind of a once in a lifetime thing. But Four of Swords sitting up there, there may be a period of healing and restoration like we've seen in a couple of these other energies, okay? But this is high, high, high consciousness right here where you connect with that person. Oh, and now we have some distorted energy over here, Five of Cups. But to me, this again is what we're coming out of. And it's emotionally or psychically projecting dark emotions, deep sadness, illusions, games, lies. Yeah, we may have really kind of closed up and closed off because of some heavy challenges that we had gone through. But to me, based on these cards, it's like there's this great healing coming in for Taurus, Scorpio, and you know what needs to be separated right now. Trust in that. There will be healing. Just don't hang on to things that harm you. There's an element of sadness to this card, and you know, a need to kind of let things go and focus on what's coming in because it is good. And some of you, this is a beautiful healing in an existing relationship, okay? So over here on Gemini, Sag, we have emotion energy, Capricorn, judgment, and this says emotions deeply rooted, family first, incredible spiritual strength. So again, I did see that challenge going on, and with this, to me, it's, again, you've got to really trust that what's meant to be is meant to be. We're both really, really, really growing because the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn, the teacher, the karma bringer, okay? So there's some deep lessons going on between you and another person, and it's all about soul growth. It's not about who's right, who's wrong. No, you guys are growing, and there is definitely emotions. Emotion is deeply rooted, it says, okay? And judgment, that's all about, you know, divine intervention, divine contracts, divine unions. We've got to grow somehow, some way. That's what this is all about. And this is very solid, stable energy. So just keep that in mind. Like, this is a period of growth. It doesn't mean goodbye forever. We've got some work to do separately. Over here, we have the ninth house, house of Sagittarius. So this is for Cancer, Capricorn. Funny that we get a Sagittarius card here and a Capricorn card here, but this says spiritual, higher learning, guidance, the Hanged Man. And this, to me, just based on the reading that we've come out, is, again, it's all about perception and consciousness and where we need to draw those boundaries. But we're getting this insight from a much higher level because, again, we're being grown. This is all very spiritual for Cancer, Capricorn axis this year. Ooh, look at this for Aquarius, Leo. Yes, the world. We are done with this hard crap. We're over it. Yay. Plus the Wheel of Fortune, destiny, fate, karma, north and south nodes. Look at that. Boom. So perfect. Leo, Aquarius. This is just a confirmation of everything I've said. It's about to get good for you guys this year. You guys went through the hardest part last year, and it's like all up from here. Now, Virgo, Pisces, distorted energy, Five of Swords. All right, this is the wound that we are working on healing with these connections and, you know, growing, emotionally maturing into this King of Cups. And it says, selfishly motivated, misuse of power, coward. That's what you dealt with, okay? That's what hurt you. That's what put you into this mode. This is what we need to grow and learn from, all right? So, before I give one final card, I am going to pull a card from my Heart and Soul Conversations. And what I intend by this is based on chakra, okay? So the chakra that is associated to the message gives me an idea of where somebody's coming from vibrationally, consciously, when it comes to this connection you guys share. And what comes out on the card is maybe something they're not necessarily conscious of, but it's what their heart or their soul would tell you, okay? So let's see what comes out. And this could be for somebody you're dealing with that's challenged right now. This could be somebody you're disconnected from. So let's just see what comes out. All right. Ooh, so we got a star chakra message over here on this side. This is, again, man, soul bond, why we can't throw the towel in, okay? We're really learning and growing with each other. So listen to what this says. Blame, anger, and hate get you nowhere. Revenge, unforgiveness, and disconnection only harm you. All these energies keep you stuck in a perpetuating loop of same experiences. Break free of the programs of your mind and the patterns of your behavior. Only then will your consciousness shift and true healing can come in. So just pretty much what I've said this whole reading. It's all about a shift in consciousness. This relationship is nowhere near over. Star chakra is the highest chakra in this deck. So this is like so divine, a divine union. And there's so much to unfold and happen and to be learned here. But we have to have a shift of consciousness at this point to proceed forward rather than just, you know, giving up and throwing in the towel, so to speak. All right. So for Taurus Scorpio, we have solar plexus chakra. So this is more of a masculine energy coming through, and it tends to be of a place of where somebody feels power or powerless. So this could be somebody feeling out of control or wanting to control the situation. And this says, I feel like you tried to control and manipulate me. I asserted myself in destructive ways because your actions triggered things within me I'm not ready to heal. I am angry and unable to understand your side at this time. I need time. So this is where I see the block, and to me, this is somebody's really caught in ego where they're not taking any sort of responsibility for their actions. It's more like they are looking at the other person involved and saying, you know what? Even though you had every right to ask what you asked of me, I wasn't ready for that. Therefore, I blame you. I put this all on you. I'm going to control the situation and make you feel really bad about what you asked for or what you did, even though you weren't wrong. Okay, so that's what's coming through with this. So it's like somebody has to get past themselves and realize what they did and how that did hurt, and that, you know, there wasn't too much being asked of them. It was, you know, very fair. So somebody's got to overcome a bit of ego here. And again, that's so perfectly paired with that Four of Pentacles and then the Five of Cups with this Pisces distorted energy. Now, over here on Sag Gemini, we have sacral chakra, which this is coming, you know, from the divine feminine, and like the way you empathically feel other people, your creativity, all of that. This is where somebody's feeling this message for you. I cannot escape the intimacy we shared. It is etched into my soul. I am haunted by our memories. Our connection has never left me. So again, that goes back to the penguin soul bond. It is very much being felt by the other person as well. But again, it's like this is a period of healing and restoration. So you just have to go with that and ask Spirit what it is that you need to work on at this time. But the connection, whether this is a friend, a lover, whatever, they miss and feel you as much as you miss and feel them. Those are who are, you know, completely disconnected. And now if this is just a existing relationship, it could be where there's just a ton of distance between the two of you right now for whatever reason. But that connection does exist. All right, Cancer, Capricorn, we've got third eye. So this is at a much higher consciousness. It's not as high as the star, but this is coming from, this to me is talking more about how we're being grown. You being grown, and then also you kind of putting boundaries, helping others grow, okay? And it says, I see things so clearly now. I don't blame you anymore. I saw myself, really saw myself. I didn't like the image before me. As much as you cared for me and supported me, I couldn't change by your side. True change only happens alone, on the darkest stretch of our path. Only Spirit can hold your hand in that space. And my God, Cancer, Capricorn, I'm getting chills and I almost want to cry, okay, reading this one. So I kind of like need a second. Yeah, this is that tough love that we've been talking about. This is their higher self telling you that I've got to fall down and learn on my own. And I know it hurts you. And I know that my, personality, my avatar lashes out at you and blames you. But there will come a point of total understanding and realization, and it won't be that way anymore. Okay, so this one kind of got me a little bit very deep there. All right, so Aquarius, Leo. Ooh, we got star chakra consciousness. So this coming out is a soulmate connection to me once again, and it says, emotions and thoughts are expressions of being in human form. Consciousness does not experience through thought and emotion, but rather through vibration. It is the language of light, and every soul speaks it. This is back to telepathic communication and connection, and no matter the distance, it's always there. And, when we humanize romance in such ways and our connections in such ways, this is their higher self, the higher part of their self, letting you know that no matter what it looks like, the connection is still there. And the soul doesn't experience the way the human does. So if one human is mad at the other, it doesn't mean the souls are. And right here, it's like no matter how far apart you are or how angry you are, we're still homies on the other side. In the non-physical, we're homies, and that's that, and you're not getting rid of me and I'm not getting rid of you. That's what this is all about right there. Okay, and lastly, Pisces, Virgo, we have third eye. So again, a higher level of consciousness for whoever's coming through for you. And it says, I think about you and hope you feel my thoughts. I'm reminded of you often through synchronicities and through the silky threads of nostalgia that have been woven into my soul. You are unforgettable, and all of this is really hard for me. So Pisces, whoever you're disconnected from, or there's just a lot of trouble and distance and challenge in an existing relationship, it is very painful to the other person, whether they tell you or not. Like, it hurts, and it hurts bad, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to make this better. And Pisces, I get a sense this is you as well. Like, this is what you would say to somebody too, is, gosh, I don't know, like, this is all such a mess, it hurts, I don't know. There's something developing, we're healing, we're growing, we'll come into greater understanding of this message. So to wrap this up before my camera dies, I'm just going to pull one final card to kind of help with timing about any of these things. Reconciliations, new people coming in. Ooh, the harvest. I love it. This says manifestation is upon you. Take notice. Spirit will use 1010 as a repeating sign. It is time to let go and accept things as they are, thus making way for the new. So overall, open your heart to the new, okay? Whether that is a new connection entirely or a new level of connecting in an existing relationship, whatever new means for you, open up to it. Ask Spirit, all right, Spirit, I'm on board. What is it? What do I need to do to let the new in, whatever the new may be? Okay, so we've got over here on the Aries Libra month, what you're asking for, it will unfold in 1 to 3 months. So the challenge we've been struggling, we will get through that, okay? It's going to definitely improve within 1 to 3 months. Hang in there. Don't throw in the towel. All right, next out for Taurus, Scorpio, we have Libra season. This says, the veil is thin and the spirits are about. Pay attention to all signs and synchronicities over the next month. You are being divinely guided. October may be significant to timing or relevant to the energies involved. To me, this may be something that started in October, is now going to come full manifestation, or we're going to finally understand all of this. But more than that, over the next month, really pay attention to all signs and synchronicities. Spirit guides are really showing you the way. All right, so Gemini, Sag, moment, specific timing. Original plans are going to change, or you are going to change your mind. So be fluid. Sit tight. Just see the way the universe is going to unfold everything for you. It's going to be good. All right, how funny is this for Capricorn, Cancer? Sometimes the universe has jokes. The future. The timing or deeper details will not be accurately revealed as to preserve the magic and element of surprise. So lots of fun stuff for you guys. Okay, however, Spirit is holding tight, keeping those lips sealed for whatever reason, but look to the future. Things are going to get better. Just trust in that. All right. Leo, Aquarius, we've got 2 o'clock, the union. Nice. 2 energies joining together for a shared purpose or mutual desire. This to me is new friendships, reconnecting with different, challenged family relationships, new romance, reconnecting, with other old romance. Like it's just, there's a coming together for Leo Aquarius axis. Spirit will use 222 as a repeating sign that you can trust the other person or persons involved. So again, this is like coming out of the darkness and things finally getting better. All right, Pisces, Virgo. Pisces, Virgo. I'm not surprised just based on all of this. 7 o'clock, hard work and growth. Hard work is required for your manifestation to reach its full potential. Spirit will use 777 as a repeating sign that more growth is needed. But we already know that, right? We got the egg, and now here's Spirit again being like, well, yeah, pretty much let's just focus on growth, and then we'll talk about timing. But not until we've focused on this. So anyways, those are your messages for this Libra full moon energy over the next month. And, I did this as an overall because I feel regardless of your sign, this whole message for everybody could really benefit you and is an overall scope and picture of the full Libra moon energy, which is all about relationships, as I've said, and what needs to happen here. And again, you can look at this for your sun sign, your rising sign, or the other people that are involved, and you just kind of see how it all fits together, and who's going through what and who's thinking what, and the messages of the heart and soul and what needs to happen from here. So those are your messages for this Libra full moon. I am wishing you all the best. Take care.